Oh,
And here we are. We're live. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Everyone in the chat. Today I have, I always get this backwards. I have, and now I'm going to point this way. I have Ven from Ven's Book Corner.
Hello.
Somewhere. And I have Noah.
I'm glad it's not just me. Every time I do a video, it's like, I'll include the link above, and I always put, I've done it to the right side this time. And I always point to the wrong side and just stood there going, hang on, that's wrong, and then have to re-record it because it bugs me.
That's why I've stopped pointing, and I'm just like, it's in the description box down below, which is where they include it now.
Down's
so
always
just
on
gonna do a quick hello. We have Eno, who has been anxiously waiting. Welcome. Ven, you're already on the screen. And then there was someone I saw who said hello. Ah, there we go. The Cottage Goth Library.
Hello, Luna.
Hi, Luna.
Luna, there's a nice name. And we have Jenny here as well.
That's Mrs. Noah.
And I saw a comment, almost finished her book.
Batter me for saying that.
Why? What's wrong with that?
And I'm just checking that I haven't missed anyone who came in.
That's
we just started, so didn't miss anything. Hey, there's Dad and Janie. Hello. And Janie, I promise not to keep calling you Jenny this time. I don't know, massive brain fart last live stream, I have to say. Yes. So welcome, everyone.
It sounds wobbly. Oh.
Uh-oh. I wonder if I'll have to... One of you talk and see if it's clear.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Rubber ducky is on the highway.
Well, at least you went for that, not one of your bad jokes for once. No. You're banned.
So
I am banned from doing them.
Hopefully the sound's good. Hopefully mine's good. I was worried about that as well. And as I said, I have the Chaos Gremlins with me today, so I'm not expecting anything flowing smooth.
We'll
be here. We'll be there.
We'll get somewhere by the end of the
That's
live.
True.
We always do. And hey, our viewers are engaged, and that's what it's all about, right? We have good laughs and a good time. Our viewers have a good time, so that works perfectly.
I just want to shout out, because I know Noah is a massive crafting person. But and unfortunately, I can't remember her name, which is terrible on my part. I am jealous of their ability to crochet things right now.
Oh, they crochet. I crochet.
Yes. Yeah, they really
crochets. She had an amazing video. I think Bad, let us know in the comments. It was just, I think, last week. Beautiful work, and she's going to be crocheting a dragon. I can't wait to see that.
She's done the mandrake route from Harry Potter. That was the one that went up today, and it's like, I want that in my house so much. And thank you, Luna, as well. But
no, Noah, you said you crochet.
I do crochet. I used to work at a hobbycraft store before I ended up working with Van over here.
Nice. See, I can't crochet. I can knit, but I don't have the patience for crocheting. I don't know if it's because, now I'm wobbly again. I might have to go get my microphone.
Do you trust us being left on our own lane?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll be fine. It's okay. Go. We'll look after the chat. Don't worry.
Most of the people here, actually, I think everybody here knows you too.
I recognize everybody so far.
Janie and Bad, I'm putting you in charge. If these two are creating havoc, leave me a note, and I'll be right back. It should only take.
Go. We'll be fine.
If anything goes wrong, it will be Noah's fault.
Wait. Van.
What?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, Jesus.
Rock, paper, scissors.
It's the first time you've ever won anything, Noah.
I know.
Oh, honestly. Oh, dearie me. But how is
what bad
everybody?
things did they say I'm here?
No, we did rock, paper, scissors. We were good.
I won. So I'm the best.
And I'm playing about with. We've got a little Rubik's. What are they called? Spinneretti thing.
Oh,
which I'm sure
spinners.
Eno will be very. Eno likes stuff like this. So this is my new fidget thing that I'm playing about with.
See, I have spinner rings. I just don't have them on.
You're just going to see yellow, Noah. Like you literally can see 3 colors.
Better?
You sound fine.
You sound fine now.
But now I can't hear you because my microphone's plugged in.
We've brought the tech issues with us.
We did. I'm so happy. It's contagious. Apparently,
it's all come from Noah.
No.
Yes.
It's come to you. We can't hear you, unfortunately. Ven, you should sing to... Oh, there we go.
The mic.
Oh, there we go.
And so, see, Janie, anything can happen because tomorrow, Janie and I are going to be doing a chat, but just off, not a live stream. Oh, but now Janie can't hear me. And
I can hear you.
Okay, hopefully Janie can hear me. And so we're going to try, because in StreamYard, you can just set up a private thing so it doesn't go live and you don't save it or record it. So we're going to play around with it because she hasn't done StreamYard or lives before. So we're going to give that a whirl tomorrow night and fingers crossed. But yeah, there's always some kind of techno glitch. And to be honest, it's part of why I was nervous doing this because I hate tech glitches. I lose my mind.
I had a cracking one a couple of streams ago where my mouse cursor disappeared.
Oh no.
So I was moving it around trying to figure out where it was. And it was still highlighting most things on the screen, but not everything. So I'm unplugging it, plugging it back in, and then it's like, right, fine. So I ended up trying to get the invisible mouse to find the settings. It's like, ugh. Honestly, it was just, why? That's what I was thinking.
Poor Noah.
I've been at Noah's house at midnight trying to fix his PC before now.
That's true.
So.
Oh, awesome. Yay, that. Sorry, I'm listening and I'm following because I'd like to do a buddy read with Bad, but I don't know where she is on Voxer, so kind of makes that hard. And I don't do Discord.
I know exactly what Noah's about to ask.
Password.
What is Voxer?
Yeah, what is Voxer?
It's an app that you can download on your phone, and you can either type. So it's like DMing people, and so you can type a message. And you can also voice record a message up to 15 minutes. So if you're doing a buddy reader, and it's free, it fits my budget perfectly, doesn't interfere with my book hauls. You can download it for free. And yeah, if you're doing buddy reads, you can do with one person, a couple people. And when I started doing it, my first buddy read was with Dave from Book Blather and Vin at Revenant Reads. And it was great because you just put in the pages that you've read, and then you can talk your summary instead of having to read something huge, right? And then that way, if people haven't read that part yet, they don't read it. They don't listen to it until they've got to that part of the book.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I did actually download Voxer about a year ago because I was meant to be doing a buddy read with MJ for Fourth Wing. And just for one reason or another, it just didn't happen. But it's not massive here because we use WhatsApp a lot over here. I don't know how big that is or if that's a thing you have.
It is, I think, over here, but the booktubers that I've met, and I've just really been part of like BookTube since January. I've been on YouTube longer, but just connecting with BookTube since January. And most of the people I know all use Voxer, so that's why I decided to give it a try. And it's handy because then it's on your phone. So, you don't have to log in and all this other stuff. It's just a handy little, and it tells you when there's messages. Same as Google Chat, but I haven't really met many people using that. But you can set up private chat rooms and send DMs there. And the nice thing is, because you're already signed into YouTube, you're already signed into Google. So there's no extra passwords needed.
No, it's something I'd not heard of it until MJ mentioned it. It's like, what is this? And I think it's one that's just not as big in the UK. I think very much over here, WhatsApp and Discord very much corner that market quite a lot. But yeah, it's it looks interesting what I saw of it, to be fair.
Yeah.
So,
now Luna's saying you can also do buddy reads in Storygraph.
you can.
Isn't that fancy, Noah?
I like that. I was like, ooh.
I just discovered that a while ago.
I'm just gonna like,
because I have more viewers now. Before it used to just be me and one person, so I didn't need to hit up their comments. But so this is cool as well. Luna's saying she's been doing BookTube for over a decade, and it's gotten so big. Janie has also been on BookTube for over a decade. She took a bit of a break. She mentioned that last time I brought that up, but Janie's had her channel for 10 years as well. So kudos on keeping that momentum going. And there's been so many changes with YouTube as well, even just in terms of monetization and how they're promoting and putting out videos. Like, I mean, someday I'd like to hit 500 subs just because that's a benchmark.
Yeah.
But man, am I glad I didn't do it in 10 weeks like some of these people I see on these other how-to channels, because there's so much to learn and figure out. It's not just the editing or make a video. It's, what do you say in a video? What kinds of things do you want to put in it? And all the different stuff that goes. I'm like, I'd have lost my mind if I'd blown up in 10 weeks. I mean, sure, it'd be great to get a paycheck that much sooner, but do you keep it by, there's so many things if you get strikes or violations, whatever.
Well, that's it. It's such a short ramp up, innit? If you just go from zero to success so quickly. It's just, it fascinates me why certain creators explode so much. I am curious sometimes. I know sometimes they're coming over from TikTok or Twitter. They've already got a following anyway, and they start following with them, which is fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes you look at it and go, why? What? But hey ho.
And that's it. And I mean, it's no shade on anybody, because I mean, there's different styles, there's different content, there's different genres. But I mean, sometimes I find, and I try to avoid them, but when I am looking at the analytics, the main one I go to are my returning viewers, because that tells me I must be doing something right because people are coming back. I may not be, rocket growing or get hundreds or thousands of views, but somebody's getting some benefit out of what I'm doing, and I enjoy doing it. But I think yesterday or the day before, I was looking at it and it was showing you top videos and all of that. And I thought, well, I'll just take a boo and see, what is getting me views? Is it the cats? Is it nature? Is it the book videos? So out of the top 10 that I saw, it was a combination of all three. So I guess I keep doing what I'm doing because they're all three hitting the audience that's coming. I just don't tend to get a lot of subs, but that's okay. I get shout outs and things, and I appreciate and welcome those. And I'm good being small because then I don't get the trolls either.
Well, that's the thing, It's I think I had someone wander into the chat on probably the last reading sprint. No, not that one. You weren't at this one. Not the one who asked for
you've had exciting sprints, have you?
Oh, I had someone come in with just asking the question feet pics, which threw me a little bit at first. It's like, not that sort of channel, but it was fine. They didn't do it. I just sort of bantered back, and they settled down. And then I had one the other day who just came in going, "Huh, people watch this." It's like, you know what? Nah, block, bye. What just wasn't engaged, and it's like, nah.
Well, and that's it, because I mean, you want to have a fun time and a good time, and I don't know why people go into, well, because they enjoy drama. I mean, some of them make videos about it, and others just lurk and, hello, Sue. Others just kind of go into chats and just wreak havoc because they can. Like, I don't know. To me, there's bigger things to do with your day than that. But then before we get to your story, because see, we're going to go 2 hours and I'm not going to hear it again. We're going to catch up on comments and find out. So Luna says, I used to have a horror film channel before my current. I no longer have access to it. Before Google bought YouTube. That stinks.
A bit too familiar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Noah, you've had yours, and we'll talk about that after Ven tells us his story, because I have one about that as well. So Bad says, my opinion's that YouTube has its own system. Think they don't play fair. Just watched a person rant on how book talk is not fair on their platform. And see, so it's everywhere. Don't care about growing big. If I did, I would have given up years ago. I can relate to that feeling.
I know Sue's Book Bands was talking about that in the Honest Booktuber tag the other day. About, it's like, I don't do videos to get views because I just don't get views because I don't know what YouTube does. And it's like, yeah, I wonder sometimes, hi Sue as well. I do wonder sometimes how much it is people who just know how to read the algorithm better or just have the tools. Because I know I sporadically use them. And bizarrely, I do worse when I use I know Noah uses some of them. Noah uses, is it TubeBuddy, I think?
Yeah.
Which I've tried using it. I'd have done all the things it said, and every time I use it, it does worse. I do better when I don't, which is just bizarre to me.
I think it's because the things that you actually do, it's very specific.
Yeah.
Well, my stuff that I've kind of been doing as of late is very open.
That's true. You've been a lot more, much wider net than me.
Now, I just want to comment on Janie's, and then Ven, we're getting to your story, and then Noah, we're talking to buddy. So Janie, like I said, been on YouTube over a decade, not even hit 2K subs. Now, when I met Janie, and bless the YouTube recommendations is how she found me and became one of my subscribers, and I've checked out her channel, and so now we follow back and forth, which is awesome. And I know Janie had mentioned that, I think it was in one of her videos, and I had commented, because I watch Nick Nimmin, and he, I just enjoy the different ideas, suggestions. But it's funny, Ven, because I find when I try the different things he suggests, I don't do very well. So go figure. The world works different for us.
Yeah.
But I do remember Nick saying that if you get 1,000 subscribers, you're ahead of millions of content creators, because most people never even go over 1,000. So to get to 1,000 is huge.
Yeah, I can't remember, it was relatively recent. I saw a video about something like that, talking about like the percentages, and it was like getting over 250 is like the top 1%, which is amazing. So
now seeing Luna is like me, not even 500. And it's hit and miss, right? And to be honest, I have seen channels with amazing content, still super, super small. Yeah. And I have seen content that I'm thinking, how could you even think of uploading that? And they're massive. Like it just so does not make sense to me.
No.
And yes, definitely takes patience. Okay, Ven, the story.
Right,
I'm
so
going to have like a notepad to keep things on track. The name of your channel.
I actually have a notepad next to it. So my channel's actually just been slightly renamed, just straight. It's not now just Ven's Corner. I've dropped the book bit. Ven is actually,
that.
yeah, there is a few reasons for that. But when I started on BookTube, I didn't want to use my actual name. And I originally started as Facebook because my intention was to never be on camera. I think I might have touched on this last time around. And I went through and it's like, right, well, and I actually ended up pulling from my my gamer tag, basically, because I'm a massive nerd and I like D&D. I decided that I wanted a gamer tag that basically meant wizard or something similar. Because I then go another way, it's like, well, what's Latin for that? So I ended up finding what the Latin is for. It's not quite a direct translation, but it means poison wizard, and it's Veneficus, that's probably not how it's pronounced. And I ended up, when I started this channel, it's like, well, I might as well just use my name, because then if I'm doing on other platforms, because I do stuff elsewhere, then it kind of falls over. And I thought, well, I can't just put. Well, first of all, the channel name wasn't allowed. So that's why it wasn't the full name, because it's already exists somewhere. So it's like, okay, well, what about Ven's Book Corner? It's like, oh, that works. Yay, that'll do. And it just stuck. And then every time I do a live with Noah, he forgets that I have a screen name and uses my actual name. And unfortunately, I've started doing it as well in a couple of lives recently where I've been cursing. Normally when I'm gaming a little bit more, because I've brought gaming content into the channel now.
It's
a little bit.
Fault.
It's not your fault. No, Noah. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, see, that's a good story.
It was just because I just didn't feel confident going in. So not as bothered now.
Yeah, your face is everywhere.
Yeah. I'd still go faceless. I'd still VTuber it if I could, but I have not got the money to get all the stuff I need to make that work properly.
Oh, to do that animation stuff?
Oh, yeah. I mean, to actually get it, you can buy the actual someone to do buy someone to do your models. That sounds a bit slavery. You can commission people to do the models and do all the stuff for you. It costs a couple of £100, but then it's done. But it's done until there's an update to the software, and then it needs to be re-rigged again. And it's like, you know what? I don't have enough money for this.
Yeah.
So
that would be cutting into your book hauls there.
I don't know what you mean. I don't buy any books.
True. Hey, so here's a good topic. So Noah, where did the bookworm come from?
See, mine's not as good as Ven's.
I know, Luna.
Because originally my channel used to be called In Between the Lines, and I decided to do this whole change up of my booktube, and I kept trying to think of a name to do with like dragons and stuff like that, because I was like falling into my fantasy era, and he was like, no, this will be better, the bookworm, but do worm is a natural like type of dragon that you can get. And I was like, damn it, you're right.
Yeah. I'm good at naming things. That's why we're doing for September, we're doing Smuttember next month. So
there you go.
Well, which, as you can tell, Noah is delighted. I won't mind. This was originally his idea, and I've sort of hijacked it.
Excuse you, it was not.
It was. I just hijacked
Stop
it.
telling people this.
What, the truth?
So you're gonna have Smuttember, are you?
He is.
Not many. You are. I've seen what you're reading. You're reading Squeak. You cannot say a word.
No, what is Squeak?
Noah? You're reading it, not me.
You made my guest cry. That's not cool.
So Squeak is a erotic novel about someone and balloon animals.
He can't talk.
No. It's erotica about balloon animals and people. I don't know anything past that. And then
I'm surprised you know that much.
He found it first.
No doubt.
I haven't been. I do know because Witchy's got it. Witchy reads. She actually got sent the books by the author because they've done Squeak and they've got one called Is it called Unhinged?
Yeah, it's
And that's an erotica about a door, so I don't even want to know anything about that.
Oh,
it's a sentient door.
Yeah.
Dave read it. Dave and
There we
Olive.
go. Yeah, it's
And
been
there's
all.
a pillow book afterwards. Janie, if you
What?
remember the names, because I remember we were laughing about this when Dave and Olive were on the live. And I can see the cover, and I can't think of the name of the door. Hinge or something like that.
I'm sure it's called Unhinged, but I know Witchy got sent Unhinged and Squeak by the author, and I believe the books have illustrations in them. And there was like postcards in what she was sent, and she couldn't show them on YouTube without blurring them. So, and it's like, wow.
There's another book in that series has to do with a pillow. Something about pushing cushions or something like that. I don't read that kind of stuff, but watching some of these garbology videos.
I want that one.
Well, I know I was speaking to doing the first reads now, and it's like he's dead, he's gone. I just what you can't blame me for that one. Oh, honestly, you say I find books for you.
Ven, you've been called out. You've said your real name in streams a couple of times.
Yeah, it tends to be on when I'm doing the gaming streams and something happens that I don't like.
Then you're on a roll. You buy many books.
I have definitely not bought any books since midnight.
Yeah, that could be accurate.
He has.
I can at least say it's been, a couple of it's been a couple of weeks, I guess, since I've been. And I'm going to behave for a bit longer because I'm trying to get on track with things. Well, hey, I'm going to segue and explain my channel name because I'm sure people wonder why it's Cobalt Dragon.
Yes. I was going to ask you about this.
So when I started, I didn't want to use my own name. And I just love Cobalt Dragon. It combines two things I enjoy. Astronomy, so the dark night sky, the cobalt color, and dragons. Love reading about them and stories and the mythology. So I figured, boom, Cobalt Dragon would be a cool name. Funny thing, talking to someone once I finally got around to making videos, they're like, well, maybe you should change it. So I became Elaine Online. That worked until YouTube decided to have hashtags. I was a smaller channel back then, and it turns out somewhere in the land of YouTube is hashtag Elaine Online. So to make life easy and keep the channel name and the hashtag the same, I thought, just for giggles, I'm going to try Cobalt Dragon. Ta-da! No one has grabbed it. There is no other channel name.
It's a great name as well. It really
Cobalt
is.
Dragon I am.
No, it's a great name. It really. When I saw you in. It was probably Cat's Chat over at Ginger.
Yeah, it was Cat's Chat.
And it's like the name came up with that. Oh, like that name. And then obviously we straight away pretty much we ended up talking about stuff, didn't we? So and it's like, yeah. I like this person. More people.
So that name works. That's better than, Elaine Online. It was handy. That's who I am. But Cobalt Dragon, it does get noticed. Could keep some people away from my channel, but that's probably a good thing.
Well,
their loss.
It is their loss.
So Noah, TubeBuddy. See, I'm trying to keep things in my head. TubeBuddy, because I've never tried it, and I've seen different reviews back and forth. I know Nick Nimmin talks a lot about it, like he's big with the TubeBuddy and StreamYard.
Yeah.
So how do you find it? And I don't mean on the computer, I mean using it. Just thought I'd clarify.
Just, I think when you're first starting out, it's very helpful because you never know really like what kind of tags or hashtags to use, and it kind of looks up what most people kind of look for. Like, because YouTube, when it goes through something, it goes off by not only the title of the video, but also the tags. They kind of go together. So it makes it just a little bit easier to see, well, you could get a bit more of a view if you also use this tag as well that goes along with it. And I find that part a lot helpful.
It is worth mentioning with it, though, because there is a free version.
Yes.
And there's a paid version. And whilst the free version is
limited,
a little bit useful, it paywalls a lot of stuff, which I've not paid. I know Noah has paid for it in the past. And it's like, is it? For me, it wasn't worth it. But there is occasionally, as you're going through it, it gives you just enough little snippets for you to sort of get the handle on what it wants you to do.
Yeah, so with the free one, it does.
Yeah, which is a bonus. It shows what other people use as well. So if I went and watched one of your videos, it would come up with whatever hashtags you've used and whatever tags you've used, which you can't see otherwise. Which can be quite useful. So if you're doing a specific video on a specific thing, you just go find a big creator, and half the time they haven't needed to put hashtags on it, but never mind.
Yeah.
But if they have, it'll show all the ones they've got, and then it'll sort of rank how many views have come from that, so on and so forth.
And it sounds a lot like vidIQ, and they have the same type of thing. Because when I was first starting, I was checking out different content creators and trying to get tips, and because I didn't know anything about editing. I mean, I'm not bad on the computer. You know, I can do like software and spreadsheets and all of that stuff, but I hate being in front of a camera to begin with. So the thought of making videos was like, and I mean, my first ones are brutal. They'd take me all morning just to do one video because, did I say that right? Was I looking the right way? And it's like, holy crikey, this is 3 hours for a 20-minute video, and that's even before the editing. Like
mine's still like that, because I know me and Noah do things very differently.
We do.
But I know Noah just hits the record button and just bleh at the camera till he's finished, and then goes through and edits it. Whereas I call it TV style. I do it in takes. So I'll split my video up into bits, and then I'll just keep re-recording the same bit until it's like, I've not mucked up this time, and I'll just go through and delete everything. And then when it comes to editing, it's just a drag and drop, done, send, gone. I don't need to edit anything then. Because I don't have the patience.
Well, and I tried to do, when I initially and I started using Video Editor, which was a freaking nightmare.
That's what I started with.
Brutal. And then I got Refurb not iPad, but like iMac, not, the laptop, but the teenier version, because I could get iMovies on that, which made life so much easier. And that's when I stopped doing takes, because it's so much easier to just cut out those empty spaces or the bloops or whatever. And it was just easier to record one video, drop it into iMovie, cut out the spaces, or, I don't really want to include that, or, it's irrelevant, whatever. And then boom, you're done, compared to Video Editor where you're trying to figure it out by the second. And if you're really lucky, you'll hit the right spot.
That's what I did when we used to do our podcast for a couple of episodes. I'd go through and edit it afterwards. And it's like, how many seconds can I shave off this? And I'd literally go through the whole thing going, there's no sound there, cut. Now, and then obviously cutting out the bits that we didn't want to include, which tended to be quite a lot.
Yeah, they did.
Waffles. But fun times.
Yeah, that's been a big challenge as well. So here, and I'll put this out to our viewers as well, and the two of you, since you've got great ideas. So this month and into September, I'm doing the UFO theme.
Yes.
And I've created a tag, but I have no idea what to call this thing. I don't want to call it UFO OG, because that's boring. Any ideas? Anybody? because I can't do the tag till I come up with a name.
He's the best one to ask.
Come back to me at the end of the video. I'll have a think.
Okay.
Strangely, just on a side point, because I know you were talking.
And I have a book.
You have a book. Happy days. We were talking in one of the. Well, not we weren't. But when you were talking about, because you don't call them UFOs anymore. I don't.
No, they've changed them now.
So
actually, Canada still does. Britain and United States call them unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. But we Canadians, we stubborn. They're still unidentified flying objects.
Because that's what they are.
I love soaring saucers that Dan's putting. Strangely enough, it came up in a book that I'm reading now. That's just reminded me, because I'm reading a sci-fi book right now, and it's about a UFO that's crashed in Europe. It's The Wrong Stop by Rex Burke. It's one of the first chapter to read for recently. And I got part through it. I was reading it. They don't refer to them as UFOs. They refer to them as UAPs. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize it was still a common thing. And it's like, and it's been all the way through now. And it's been going through all this terminology. It's like, this isn't what. And I've had to go back and I've rewatched a couple of your videos and gone, oh, right, okay, I'm just behind on the terminology. And it's up to date in the book. It's like,
oh. And see, there's the other part of the challenge. And especially if you're starting to getting into researching or looking into things, because up to a certain point, it's going to be UFOs. You won't find anything about UAPs up until that transition. And I do get why they've changed the term, because now UFOs have been so affiliated with alien spacecraft and extraterrestrials that it muddies the waters, because they really are initially UFOs or UAPs. They don't know what they are. That's half the issue. And then when you start automatically assuming, and I'm missing a comment, I can tell from Noah.
No, it's something I've just I can't say it on the I can't say it on here. It's something I saw yesterday about a renaming. It was on Twitter. No, X. Sorry. And someone was saying, when was this renamed? It's quite an explicit term. And that's just triggered me. And I thought, if Noah sees this, then that'll be him gone. So I've just shot it over to him on Discord to say, did you know about this?
But yeah, that's okay. And so it does make a difference. And that's one of the challenges with trying to research anything paranormal and even some other topics is language and terms change so much, right?
Yeah. That's why I have issues when it's again, it's something I've touched on before. It's something why I have issues reading classics when they've been unabridged, because it's changed enough that it throws my reading flow out so badly, and that's why I don't enjoy them as much. Audiobooks I'm fine with, or anything else, but reading it, my brain it skips. I found it very obvious when I was reading Slaughterhouse 5 recently, which is a really beloved book, and did that book I nearly DNF'd it, which is a shame, because it's a book that I think everyone should actually potentially try to read. Doggy! So you're not eating your shoes today, Noah?
No.
No.
Okay, so Luna's working on a readathon for December. Just playing with it right now. I need to know more about. I wonder. Here we go. I remember Unhinged.
Yeah.
It was a funny one.
It's on Kindle Unlimited, I think. Bizarrely. I know you don't have a Kindle, do you, Elaine? But I think it's on Kindle
Unlimited. No, I
don't. So.
Thanks, Luna. iMovies, Apple products only. Yep. And see, this is why, speaking of techno nerds, I have a Microsoft laptop and an iMac computer thing. Not up to date. Refurb, because why not? They work just as good as the spanky news. And it's been a blessing, because when something doesn't work well in Microsoft, I can figure it out over in Apple. And when Apple doesn't play nice with me, I can figure out in Microsoft. So I'll have both of the things sitting on my desk trying to get stuff done.
When Microsoft stuff doesn't work, it's a nightmare. It really is.
Jenny would like to know if you'll be doing any more podcasts in the future.
I don't know. Is the short answer. Just because of work as much as anything else. And I'll be honest, the editing is a bit of a nightmare. I did leave it to Noah once.
We don't talk about that.
And after a month, I took it off him again so it'd actually get done because he kept forgetting. So
poor Noah, it's a good thing he's so good natured.
Oh, honestly, but it's a time thing more than
I don't know cheeks.
Yeah, we will do. We are, because we're both, and again, you're not getting away with it, Noah. Noah's reading Twilight this month.
Oh Lord!
I don't want to, just so
you're
everyone's
making
aware.
him read Twilight.
Yeah.
He's got the better deal. I've got to read. Is it Burning Sun? Rising Sun.
I read Edward's version.
I've got to read Edward's version. And then we're going to talk about it.
Twinkly vampires.
I know. I grew up on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and stuff like that, and Lost Boys, and you make me read Sparkle.
Hello.
Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's I think it's more to do with to give us something to tear to bits, if I'm completely honest. We did.
You can do that now. Twinkly vampires. Boom, done.
I'm a monster.
Save yourself
Glitter.
2 hours.
No, but I know because we read The Beast last year, which is one of Noah's faults, and you cannot blame anyone for this one.
What?
The Beast. And one of the most fun we've had is actually dismantling that thing.
That's true.
And how primal it was.
If you ever go into book talk, don't just believe them for their word, because the books you get are not what they say it is. It's the complete opposite.
Well, this is you've had a bad time with book talk. I didn't. Everything I saw on book talk was fine. I'm not on there anymore, but
yeah.
I after you caused me to read those other books, I stopped going on there.
I didn't. You got them out of your own.
You told me, you said read this, and gave me the physical book and said you really need to read this. It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I read it and it was really bad.
I wanted moving on. Dan Fitzgerald. Hi, Dan. Says soaring saucers. See, there's another name that could catch on.
I like that one.
Yeah, I think we still say UFO in Norwegian. There we go.
I'm not even going to try and say that.
Sounds like train, but with aliens.
Yeah, it's about halfway through. It's fun. It's very British humor. So
the French has always appealed. Oh, interesting. Ovi and I. Is it an idea? Is it flying?
That's typical, No,
that's excellent.
Yep.
Pandering, you've seen too many alien movies. I agree. The renamings have just gotten.
Do you know what
ridiculous.
makes me laugh though? They'll have paid someone to go through and come up with the new acronyms as well. That's the thing. So there's someone spent money to rename it somewhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just a make work project for somebody.
Yeah.
Just remember taking the recordings from him.
Yeah. When's it going up? I'm waiting for Noah.
Yes, Janie. No sparkling vampires. I was actually teasing Bad about that because I watched one of her videos and I was in shock. There behind Bad is Rad, the 4 Twilight books. I put in the comments, is that Twinkly Vampires behind you?
My daughter keeps threatening to try and read Twilight. So I keep directing her in other directions. So far, it's worked.
That's good.
I've only read one. I've seen them at the thrift store, even on the 50% off day. And I'm like, no, there are other vampire books I can read. I am not going to do this. I read them when I worked in high school because the kids were all reading them. So for discussion, but I'm like, Yeah, no, I'm out of here after the first book.
I think they are important. They're not good. It's amazing how often not good things become really important to driving an idea forward, because they really were a watermark, bizarrely, for turning that sort of book into the mainstream, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because after that you had some of them were already out. We had like the Vampire Diaries, which I think was already out at that point.
By L.J. Smith,
Yeah, and a load of other stuff then sort of came off that, and it also then led into things like God, what's it called? Shadowhunters, not Shadowhunters. What's it called? City of Bones.
City of Bones.
City of Bones, and that series,
Sandra Eason,
and it normalized reading again for a generation, which is a good thing. It'd just be nice if it was something good that did that.
Well, and again, and like Luna says, Twilight really big, got kids reading. So did Harry Potter. And that series, even though, I mean, those are chunkers. And when I was in public school, there were kids who were reading that. There's the House of Night series by PC Cast and Kristen, her daughter. It's basically Hogwarts for vampires. 13
I don't know
books.
That one.
There's 13 books in that series. They're not chunkers like Wheel of Time. But again, you're right. It got kids reading. Vampire Diaries is funny because I actually read the first 4, and they're nothing like the TV
the series.
show.
Thank you. Because I actually am a fan of L.J. Smith, because I read her Night World series, which is the first ever series I've ever read, and I read the first couple books of Vampire Diaries that came out afterwards, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then I watched the series, and I was like, this is terrible.
And see, I read the books because I'd watched the series, and I hate waiting for things. I grew up in an era where the new show started September and ran till June. Not this 8 episodes. Maybe we'll be back. Oh, here's a few reruns. Oh, look, this week it's a new one. Oh, no, here's a couple more. I have no patience for that.
Which is fascinating, because that's the opposite to the way UK TV works, because UK TV was always very limited series. So you'd have 12 episodes, and then it'd be reruns until the next year, where the next 12 would come out. Whereas US series tend to start at 26-ish. And then it follows on pretty quickly afterwards. And I find that fascinating. Actually, the difference.
Yeah, and see, so that's what I grew up with and what I was used to. And then when Vampire Diaries came on, I started watching it, and then I thought, oh, well, if I miss it, I'll read the books. And then I realized this isn't going to help me, because the books are nowhere near what the show's like. And I found that very frustrating. But to be honest, that's why I got into the Wheel of Time. I'd seen the first 8 episodes on Prime, and I thought, oh, I like Lord of the Rings and such. This may be interesting. And then, of course, I thought, well, it's going to be another flipping year before you see the next 8. And so I thought, oh, well, I'll try the first 3 books, see how that goes. And then I discovered there were 15 books, but by then I needed to know how it finished. So every few months and those came from Indigo. Those weren't thrift store finds. And I still have the prequel to read, because at this point it's like, why? I know how it ends. Why do I need to go backwards?
Bizarrely, the sequel is worth reading because it follows Moraine and Swan Sanche, the Aurelian, I can't say it, Amarillion seat, who was like the head of this today at the start of the books. And it explains how they discovered about it, because it starts when they were still novices themselves. So it's worth it. It's worth it for that. It doesn't really, it's more there for, like a lot of Jordan's books were, it's there more to build the world than to expand the story, which is the big thing with the Wheel of Time, why some people struggle with it quite often, because there's a lot of book there, and a lot of it, people say, well, it's filler. It's not. It's world building. It just means that it's quite slow, which is fine. Noah's never read Lord of the Rings, just on a side point.
Ooh.
So
I just got a set again, and I'll be rereading that because it's been a long time. It's been decades since I've read it.
I've actually got my set near me because I think we were talking about it last time, and I mentioned
We were,
that mine's...
because I wanted this. You've got these certain kinds of where they're small, and I want to read them ones.
Yeah, because originally they were kind of split. It wasn't really 3 books; it was 6. So mine's actually split into 6 and appendices as well.
I want that.
You can borrow it. It's fine. It's
No, I want my own.
The works. Works normally have it in.
Oh, okay, we'll have to chat.
So. That's a good one. There's one. Oops, I skipped one. English hard, meant to say. Yeah, no, we understood you, Luna. It was perfect. And hey, English is my second language too, so no worries. I was born in Canada, but I did not learn English until I knew a bit, and then I had to learn more in school, and it really sucked because my first language is Hungarian.
All right.
And unfortunately, that was also my kindergarten teacher's first language.
Oh, no.
Yes. And I'm surprised my nose isn't more pointed because I spent a bit of time in the corner. I had a little bit of a temper and thought my other language would be handy, but the kids didn't know what I was saying because you would smile and, it sounds whatever, but she knew what I said.
Did.
So, yeah, in the corner I went.
English is
Eno?
He is. He's just put on. He's mentioned. It's in the chat.
Oh yeah. Yes.
You do know. You do know on the StreamYard page, Noah, on the right-hand side, you've got private chat and comments. If you click on comments, it'll fetch the chat up for you.
Yeah.
I just did this halfway through last time, so it's just going back and forth.
Yeah, and there's so much. Yeah, I agree with Luna. So much stuff with the author, and that brings up all that Neil Gaiman stuff that's going on, and the concept of separate person from their work. And right now, it's allegations. So, that's a dicey issue. Dune was just in my video. I still have to reread that. I'd read it years ago.
I've not read it. I've got it on my Kindle, but I've not. I picked it up in December for 99p for the original. It was the first 3 was 99p as a box set on the Kindle. So it's like, you know what?
Nice.
Yeah. That was when I was going through my not buying books ban, which didn't go very well.
Now, here's Eno. It's still in pristine condition. Do you know the first thing that I do with a book, especially a paperback? Because I can't stand this trying to read in the corner. Not so much with hardcovers, but paperback, it drives me nuts.
Noah shouts at me.
Here, Noah, can you see that?
What have you done?
I snapped
Look.
it.
Oh, what?
Noah.
Look, there's tabs. There's
Noah.
tabs.
And this highlighting as well. You will never call me ever again.
But yes.
Oh my God, Elaine, you're
there's writing.
You're a book murderer.
Yes, hundreds of them.
That should in your channel, the about section, you should put book murderer. How dare you?
Now, here's the funnier thing, because it might be in the video that's already up or coming up.
You've mentioned it
I
in
was
the video
talking about the cart. Oh, here's the part that will really make you laugh, Noah.
Oh no.
Here's the Inner Me journal.
Yeah.
Do you see what's not in here? I don't write in my journals. I have a separate notebook.
I don't understand why.
Because the journal has prompts, and I've got several of them. So there's different prompts, different things to work on and think about.
Journals?
So I don't want to write in the journal because if I do it again in a few months from now, I don't want to be swayed by what I was thinking or doing at that time. I want a fresh perspective. But in terms of all the other books that I've murdered, they're research. And in order to do notes and not have to keep rereading chapters or stopping every chapter to do notes, I highlight, I circle. I'm like the lifelong student. This is what they taught me to do in college, and I've stuck with it. Sorry.
I was looking forward to seeing you tell Noah about this because I knew what his reaction was going to be.
I felt so bad because I saw him on his video. I think it was it with your sister?
Yeah.
And Noah's going, oh, I can't. And I'm thinking, oh, he's not going to talk to me very long because my books are like, whoa.
He gives me earache because I dog ear. I don't generally use bookmarks. So
I buy you bookmarks for a reason.
That's fine. I've got my own bookmarks. I get 3 bookmarks every time I get my book subscription box.
Look, Noah.
Are they dog-eared?
Ears.
What's on?
I like dog.
You make me feel like I'm like living a constant thing from that Christmas movie, Home Alone.
Poor Noah. So Luna remembers House of Night. Got the first. Oh, nice. Book blogging tour. Yeah, I read the whole series. I enjoyed it.
Look, it's not that hard
He knows
to
the
read
neighbor.
a book.
Hang on.
Like
So
it's very hard. No, I can't do it.
I've got a nice shiny new book here. So if I was to just keep going.
Oh, see, I'd never do it on camera. That would be torture.
No, I mean, to be fair, I'm not that bad with spines, actually. The ones that I've got the ones that are buggered are very old. Let's be fair here. My Pratchett books are how old at this point? I'm allowed.
As old as you.
They're not that old.
They are.
They're not. They're from the 90s. They're as old as you, maybe. Because you are the baby.
I'm the baby.
You're the baby.
You're the young and I'm the oldie. And Luna is correct. Hungarian is very different from English. Hungarian is phonetic, so there's not this silent letter stuff.
English is just a nonsense language. It really is.
Oh, it's wild.
It's just a proper car crash event of a language of just everything just thrown in a pot. It's like, that'll do.
Okay, Eno's thrown some pictures into Discord.
He has as well. They are that is in cracking condition.
Luna's
I don't have any book like that.
Luna's read Dune. Oh, she didn't like it. It is an outdated book. I agree. I enjoyed the movies. And I'm looking forward to reading it again. I think I just liked it because it was such a different world and things like that.
Well, the other thing as well is when you're reading some of these books that were written a long time ago, it's a fascinating snapshot into where the world was at that. Even though it's sci-fi, far future, it's an interesting snapshot of the attitudes of the time as well. Which is why, and I know it's something. I know Greg did a video recently about digital books and DRM and digital licenses and stuff like that. One because I spoke to him in the chat about it was to do with the fact that when they update the books, quite often they'll force the update through, and there's the question of historical posterity there. It's like, where's the original at that point? Because we're talking about Fahrenheit 451, which was obviously the publisher themselves. Went off and censored the book and rewrote it without Bradbury's permission. And he only found out a few years later.
I remember. Heard about that.
Yeah, and it's like if stuff like, and it's a lot easier to do with a digital book because if you don't have the physical edition, you can't change a physical edition of a book once you've got it. So there's
Orwell was onto something, I tell you.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because it's not something that gets talked about a lot.
Exactly, and I mean, except for oldsters like me, if you don't remember reading the original version, then people buying the new copies would have no idea.
Yeah, that's
right?
At the time they actually forced the censored copy to be released under a slightly different name, from what I remember, because they stopped releasing the original full stop without his knowledge. But the other thing as well, you almost have this sort of Mandela effect sometimes of eventually it's like that was always in there. Then when you go back and check, it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's not what it says at all. And it's a very subtle form of censorship sometimes.
Well, and that's, to be honest, why I like my physical books, because nobody can change them.
Yeah.
Whereas with an ebook or an audio book, they can get lost in cyber. If you can't get into your account, there's suddenly all of that you don't have access to anymore, right?
Yeah.
We have a question. Go ahead.
I haven't read the first series, but I'm going to look it up in a second. The other thing as well is technically, and this is what a lot of people get wrong, you don't own any digital books that you buy. You own a license to read them, which can be revoked at any time. Which is something a lot of people don't pay. And to be fair, so far, it's not really something that really comes up with books. But like Noah and I, because we're a lot more into video games as well, it's come up a fair few times in video games over the years where as the rights to stuff get sold and moved around, then you end up with a situation where you don't know who the rights owners are. So unless you've got it downloaded to your computer, it gets taken off storefront, so you can't download it again, even though you paid for it. And then it's lost because you don't own the rights to the thing. You just own the rights for access to a file on a server somewhere. See, that's why, because I used to play Nintendo and Wii and all of that. I'm not really into I've never got into Warcraft or anything like that. But Nintendo or the Wii system, we had quite a few games. And that I didn't mind because you pay once, you own the game, you take it home, and that's it. This buying stuff online, but you never have a physical copy of it ever. No, I've not bought a physical game since 2011. I don't know exactly what game it was because it came out on the 11th of the 11th, 2011. Noah, do you know what the game is? This is a test for you.
Oh, no.
You should know this because you've played it.
No, I have. A big game.
Yeah, it's a big game.
Does it start with H?
No.
Oh,
does it start with E?
It does, technically.
Elite Dangerous?
No. Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
Oh.
Yeah. Because that was the last physical game. I've still got it downstairs somewhere because I used to get like maps and all sorts in it, which is another thing because you get the physical sort of bits and pieces.
Help me off.
Yes,
even my wife knows that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's the last physical game I bought, and I have a more excessive game collection than I do book collection. Yeah. Because I've got about 1,000 video games ish, or licensed to.
That's serious gaming.
Yeah, I know. I was looking like the other day, and on because it's over like multiple storefronts, but like on the main one, I've got like 630. I don't play Elite Dangerous.
I don't even have 630 books. You so cannot pick on me for my book shopping.
The book shopping has replaced the video game shopping, more or less.
Pretty much.
I do. Yeah.
I play Elite Dangerous.
Noah, did you read Thirst?
No, I didn't even. I don't know what Thirst is.
We're going to have to check into this. Janie, you're going to have to tell me about that series.
Let's have a look.
Oh, poor Jenny. Yes, I'm sorry. I know you and Noah will never speak to me again. Yes! Woo! She's on a roll. No sparkly vampires, and your book should look like you've read them. It's like your house. It should look like you live there. Not like there's plastic on the furniture and things.
Oh, okay. I found the series. Okay. I have it in front of me.
Janie, I won't talk about tearing books apart for crafting. Noah, you would lose your mind watching for videos.
But what kind are we talking about? Where you bind?
Rebind a book is the word you're looking for.
If it's that, that's okay. Because I think some the creativeness that people do, the books look really, really pretty and beautiful. Sometimes they're even better than the original cover, and you still read it. That's fine.
No,
But
it's
the pages
not for
within.
reading.
No, what is it?
It's not for reading. Sorry, Noah. Don't chew your pencil, honey. It's bad for you.
Paper mache.
See, there's my EA from the school days coming out. Now, don't chew your pencil. It's not good.
I do chew it though. It's got bite marks all over it.
But what Janie does, and I wish they'd have a different name, but they call them junk journals. And they take pages and different sayings and things, and they put them together as a journal with pockets and pages to write on. So she buys old books with that have different patterns and things on the pages or words. And then, sorry, Noah, she cuts them up.
No, well, I like the idea of it, but I like the aesthetic of it. That's it. I can't.
We'll go on and let Noah calm down a bit. You see, I posted a while ago custom hardcover for an old Dune edition.
I know. I watched
Rip books, literally.
Yeah, I know. I watched a video about a year ago. At this point, someone made a binding for the Wheel of Time.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It was all of the books as one book.
Oh, I think I saw a video where you were mentioning that. That would be huge.
Yeah, it's about 15,000 pages-ish. I mean, I don't know how you can open that without cracking the spine, literally, because it's just, it would be about 4 foot tall, I think it was. It's
that
ridiculous.
Would be crazy.
Sorry, I'm just going to run and get a drink of water. I'll be back.
Okay.
No.
Bye-bye. So Luna doesn't write in the books unless they're nonfiction or for work. And so, see, I'm the same. I'm trying to do research and things, notebooks, haiku, nice, transcribe, love handwriting, as do I. I think it's a lost art.
Eno has a thing for pens. Quite often in the Discord, you'll just come up, I bought this pen today, and I have all these inks, and it's like,
oh, nice.
It's like the amount he's got, he must own a warehouse somewhere at this point. Yeah. It's just...
And I agree. And I mean, these are all my own books, but when I have a library book, it goes back immaculate. I hate it when I notice that someone's dog-eared a page, or even if they've jotted something in pencil. That just drives me crazy because you don't own that book. You're borrowing it. It's for other people to enjoy. Did not enjoy the second movie. Changes too much away from the original. This must be going back to June. Yeah.
I've not seen either of the new movies. So, unsurprisingly, for anyone who knows me.
Left-Handed Darkness, published 1969. Still one of my favorite science fiction books. Okay, I got to write this down.
I think I might have picked that up recently, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've bought that many recently. But I know I picked up something by Le Guin. I've got, what's it called? The Earthsea series behind me is like an omnibus, physical omnibus, which actually had been missing for ages, and I found it last week. I was digging, looking for stuff. So
very nice.
Yeah. Caliber Library. My opinion on that licensing, it's like if buying isn't owning, then yeah.
And to be fair, that's how a lot of digital stuff is going.
Caliber,
unfortunately. So.
On my computer. Yeah, and so see everybody 11.
He would have known that.
Even my wife knows that.
Yeah.
Do you play Elite Dangerous, Ven?
I don't.
I do.
That's the one where when you played it last, they changed the tutorial, right?
No, that's Eve Online.
That's Eve.
I do Eve Online and Elite Dangerous.
Do I have Elite? I don't even know if I've got it. I might have it. I have that much that I've just never played. No, I actually don't have Elite Dangerous. I was thinking of something else. I was thinking of Everspace. I was thinking of.
Then you need to peek in your Discord.
I've seen, and I'm very jealous.
Thirst doesn't have sparkling vampires. Yes, I'll be looking into that, Janie. Thank you.
It's just gone to my want to read list. So might squeeze into next month actually.
And here's another one. Poor Noah just got back and calmed down. Nope, not rebinding. I use Pages.
My poor heart.
I know. He was so see, Ven, he was so excited. Now why did I agree to this? She's a monster.
He's already recovering because he foolishly for September's reads. He turned around to me and went, "What am I reading?" As if I'm picking his reads for him, which is a terrible idea. First off,
yeah.
But also he's quite capable of finding those books himself. What was it? Red
we go.
House?
Now, Nerd Forge. I've not read it. Either of you?
Nerd Forge is a channel where they do really cool like
Or
nerdy
what?
things, and they bind books sometimes. And they look absolutely amazing.
I think they're the ones who did the Wheel of Time one.
Yeah, they are.
Correctly. So
interesting. Look interesting. He's gonna look late. 400 pounds. Holy jumping.
Yeah, he gets some pretty pens. Has some expensive inks to go with them as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I'm not sure how close pounds are to the Canadian dollar at the moment, but either way, that's like trips and trips to the thrift store. See, this is how I factor things out, right? Do I need this? Because I don't go clothes shopping and all that because I'm not at work anymore. I've got plenty of stuff at home. So I'm like, if I buy this, but I don't really need it, that's like 10 books at the thrift store. I'm going to the thrift store.
I have generally started figuring out shopping by the amount of books I can buy if I don't do that shopping at the moment, which makes sense considering the last 2 months.
The Earth Sea book. Well, it's funny because I'm laughing at you, and I'm just writing down this Earth Sea books. I'm laughing at you shocked when I did my 27 book purchase. And now I'm like, buddy, you've like double bought what I had.
I think even though I missed some, it was 48 last month. I think it was 45 in the video. Most of them were 99p. Some were free. Some were free. I need to add that. So I didn't pay for
yeah, because
but the month before was 30. So
man,
it's just I have a list and I'll go through my list, and if I ever see them on offer, I'll buy them as soon as I see them on offer.
I'm gonna find one of it's in the other room, the 12-step program. It's for AA, but I think we need to get a version for book buying.
Yeah. I just need to read the books that I've got.
Yeah, see, that's the other part. Then you just keep behind.
Read what your own challenges will start again in November. It's fine. I'll set a target of 400 this time instead of 50.
Hey, Daniel. So, is saying about playing Elite Dangerous when he first had a VR headset, jumping through Hyper.
I've never been on VR.
I have.
I haven't.
So I suspect I'd get motion sickness somehow.
You probably would, to be honest. It's very cool, though. I need to get one.
Yeah.
Online secondhand bookshop. There we go. Better World Books.
Writing things down.
Write that down.
More places to buy books.
Well, there's some I've checked, and unfortunately, because there's a few great ones in the States, but by the time I factor in the shipping and handling fee, I may as well go buy the book new, because I can buy it dirt cheap, but what they're going to charge me to send it to Canada is wild. Daniel, thanks for joining.
I think I've bought stuff from here through Amazon, bizarrely.
My little man princess.
We were talking about you, me and Dan, the other day, saying how lovely you were.
Me?
Yes.
No.
Well, he was saying you were lovely. I wasn't agreeing, but
he wasn't picking on you for a change. Noah, take it.
I know.
So Janie's used Better World Books. So American, possibly. Not sure where they'd be based.
It's I think
Jenny, I'm guessing, wants to know if you're okay.
they ship to Canada.
Oh, Daniel.
So
They
there we
do.
go. They do.
But yeah, it's if you
It's how
read
much
the
it
rest
costs.
of it, then
Yeah.
charge
Let's
to
have a look.
set to get the book.
Shipping. Doobadoo.
Oof.
Order shipped
Link
from the
from the
UK.
States.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna have a
there's
note through that.
well, and there's another channel I know, different genre. Just a sec, sorry. But he's in Wales, and to ship his stuff, like he said, it's crazy the cost to get things. Like having a shop is almost not worth it for him. And I've heard the same from some people in Australia. By the time you get the shipping and handling, it's pretty wild.
I know it's got a lot worse since the really sensible idea of Brexit. So that's really not helped people trying to send stuff abroad, especially now. Well, to Europe specifically, has been a bit rough on, especially like smaller businesses. It's that's what it's called. Sorry, because I've got books on my list that I can't get anymore. So now now someone's mentioned a bookshop to me. It's like, I can find them there, and I can as well. They're on there. Yay.
Okay, well, while Ven's feeding his addiction, Noah, there's a book that you mentioned, and I didn't write down the name. We were talking about the Vampire Diaries.
The Night World series by L.J. Smith. I have the special edition collectors.
Woo! Now, how many in that set?
9. They're not big books, though. Wait.
Oh, good.
But
You're not like.
I remember him saying because I think there's
so handy being by my cubes.
Yeah, he's waiting for
nice.
Another one been apparently in the works for like 20 years at this point or something.
Yeah, we've been waiting for the last book that she said she was going to write for like the past 20 years that we're still waiting for that will end the whole series. Oh, that looks pretty.
Oh, this is Michael McDowell, Mr. Amulet and Cold Moon over Babylon. Now, this was originally published as 6 small books, and I read it when I was a teenager, but my small town library didn't have the last 2. I've never finished the series. And right now, because I'm into doing the UFO stuff and trying to get those videos, and I want to wrap up the banned book and summaries, I'm like itching to get into this.
I've been eyeing that book for the past couple of months. And the fact you've just held it up to me.
Yeah. Well, the amulet sounds like something that I need to read at some point. I've just
the amulet's amazing. Couldn't put that one down.
Did you say, because I can't, it's a few weeks since I saw the video, did you say it was him who was involved with Beetlejuice, the film?
Yes.
Yeah, the original film.
I don't, because I took the other books, figures downstairs. Yeah, here we go. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. Moon Over Babylon, Elementals, which is another one I still have to read of his. Screenwriter of Beetlejuice and The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Which 2 of my favorite films.
He also is the screenwriter for Thinner by Stephen King. And his wife, Tabitha, finished one of the stories for Michael McDowell because he passed away a number of years ago. And so Tabitha finished one of the books just recently. He just came back into print in, I think, 2010, 2012, which is so sad because his works are amazing.
No, I need to check the amulet out. It might be one that I try and get to in October. I've just got so many books now. So many.
Well, see, that's part of why I did my themes for the channel, because I'm hoping that will get me on track with some of the reading. Like I still hopscotch and I'll read different genres because I never just read one book. But I figure if I do it that way and pick and choose which book events, because there's a lot of them, but you can only do so many. And then I'm trying to put all these other notes and everything together. So I've got to find a way to streamline things a little better.
Yeah. Well, speaking of events, where have I put it? What have I saved it? Have I not saved it on here? I'll see if I can find. There's Christina, who I don't know if you've come across on any of your lives, but she's in every time you go into any book sprint, reading sprint. Christina's there, all of them. Doesn't matter which one it is, she's just there.
Nice.
Yeah, and they actually have a running, and a few of them sort of contribute to it. It's a spreadsheet, and on it has everyone's sprints that are planned at that point, and they update it every few days. But it also has readathons on there. It has group reads on there. I tell you what, it's a cracking resource. I need to have a proper look through it actually. But
wow,
like it's got all the resources. I put it in our Discord the other day.
You did.
I've not looked through it yet, but it's like, because there's just so many. Because BookTube is so big now.
Mm-hmm.
There's that much, and there's that much content, and that many different readathons or group reads or themed reads going on, that it's just almost impossible to keep up.
I have a question. What is the difference between a reading sprint and a readathon?
So a readathon is, as I understand it, Loon will know better than me actually, but I think a readathon isn't necessarily a video; it's an overall event where it's almost like a themed month, but it's over a longer period of time generally. And you'll have certain prompts to hit. So, for example, there's a Mystic readathon, I think, that's running throughout September. Is one
like a book event.
Yeah, and it's basically like you've got certain prompts, and you'll read books that based on those prompts. Then you come together in like a club and talk about them. So not too dissimilar to like the themed ones that we've done with Don't Die July.
Yeah.
Similar sort of thing to that, to be fair, but a lot better organized than what we did, which was just horror books. There we go. And you, Luna, would know.
Well, in that way, it's easy for people to participate too. And I mean, you can pick and choose whether you want to do prompts, or I've seen some of the ones for the Halloween event, and you can either make a game board or you can just read books and things. So Janie has read the Night World series. Luna, unfortunately, laws have changed. Can't order tea from a shop anymore, or any outside of Norway. Yeah. I mean, it's made even for us with free trade between Canada, US, and Mexico. And I was commenting in I think it's one of the tag videos, because I mentioned Dracula. And I bought that in 1981 for $1.95, brand spanky new. No, I haven't written in that one, Noah. But there was just one price on the book. Now, and here again, where things have changed, right? You don't buy a book now without a Canada and US price. And that price can vary by $2 to $10 a book, which is insane, especially if it's printed in Canada. So many things have changed with these different agreements between the politicians. Smith ever finished the Night World series? Nope. Last book still being written. It's just fun reading through the comments. Have a favorite character. Hoping it would happen someday.
Yeah.
Same. Been so long, can't even remember. Hey, not so much with the old. I think we're the same age, Janie. With authors or series stops. Yeah. See, to me, that's like with the TV shows. sometimes as well, right? I haven't even, I think I watched the second episode of Wheel of Time, and I'm like, why? The books are, and again, like Vampire Diaries, the
There's a
books are
massive
so different from the series, and I prefer the books
The
quite
books are,
honestly.
yeah, I've only watched the first series. I didn't like some of the choices they made around some of the characters.
Yeah.
Let's leave it as that, especially Perrin.
Yep.
Bad choices. Bad choices
Well,
there.
and to me, just what they did with Perrin's character is so different than
Yeah.
from what happens in the story. And to me, that makes a world of difference right there.
Yeah.
Characters end up in Tarvalon that never got to Tarvalon
And a
until
lot
like
quicker as well.
8, 9.
Yeah, and also
Exactly.
a lot quicker and missed big sections that really it. And I get
Yep.
that because I try and bear in mind when you adapt for TV or film, it's a different medium, so the pacing and the plotting has to change. But if you're taking out a very key event, which they do because they go for, I can't remember the name of the city, but it's where like the Queen's daughter, who ends up spoilers, married to Rand, well, in a relationship with Rand at some point. By the end,
No spoilers.
I am relatively sure that Noah is never going to read that if he can't get through Lord of the Rings.
You're making him read Twilight. He can read Lord of the Rings.
She's got a point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll see. I'm expecting page 75 and he'll stop. To be fair, that's my expectation. So you got to prove me wrong now. Wheel of Time books are amazing. But I mean, to be fair, Noah's not a fantasy reader, really. Relatively
I'm
new.
new to it. I'm new to it.
Yeah, don't start with Wheel of Time then.
No.
The glossary is about 20 pages in the back of the book.
Wait, hang on. I've got. Give me a sec. Ugh.
You have one there? Okay, well, while you're doing that, Luna shared also readathon is an event set for a certain period of time. So, yeah, what most people call book events. And then a reading sprint's just setting aside the time to read. So, like the two of you do with your live streams.
So,
could be, I guess. I'm guessing that's with your conversation with Jamie.
Oh, yeah, about age.
Yeah.
Don't Die July is a readathon. Yep, I agree.
So, no, to put it in perspective, that is Throne of Glass, which you have read, right?
Yes.
So,
that was many years ago, though.
It's a slightly shorter book, but this is an old book, so I apologize for the state of it. It's been thingied.
It's old.
It's 1,005 pages. That is
I've got a bigger book than that.
I have a bigger book than that, but that's the last book in the series.
This is the thing, right?
And that is the actual world building book.
Okay. But this is the thing that I want to bring up about book sizes, right? Back in the day, wait, do I have it?
There is an interesting thing about book sizes that I read recently, but I'll let you carry on for a second.
Okay, just unfortunately, these are the two examples that I got. Okay, so our books today, right, are this, right? It's the first book I got. But
is that Sarah J. Maas?
Yeah,
maybe.
No, I'm curious. I've never read her, and I know there's a big reading thing right now.
But then books back then, these are pocket books. They fit in your pockets. They don't make these anymore. Why do they do them this size anymore? I would like to have a book in my pocket again, please.
My Pratchett books are the same. They're smaller.
Why?
But why are the Pratchett books smaller? Because
why did they change the size? Why can we not have them this size anymore?
I guarantee it's something to do with cost of shipping somewhere. There will be a technical. They'll probably be able to fit exactly a certain amount in a shipping box, which they can't with the smaller books. That'll be what it is.
They design the boxes for the books.
You'd think so, but I bet they have a factory somewhere where they just buy these boxes in bulk and they get a discount. So it all becomes about margins, doesn't it? But the interesting thing I saw the other day talk about book length is I will never read any more Akatar. I had enough after book 1.
You know what though? It's good.
It's junk food. It's junk food in book form, which is fine. It's fine. I didn't have a bad time reading it, but To be fair, I've also said this before. I do not gel well with Sarah J. Maas's writing for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. I just don't like. I've not liked the Throne of Glass books that I've read. I've not liked. I hated Akatar with a passion. I enjoyed reading it, but it was one of those I loved to hate that book when I was reading it all the way through. But books, I saw a thing. I think it was yesterday. It might have been today. But books. I was working on the assumption for quite a while that book length's getting shorter because it feels like there's a lot of shorter books now. And
really,
apparently, yeah, it feels
Sorry,
like a lot
I just
of
gotta
books.
sit up in my chair here. I'm seizing up. Ooh.
It might just be the books that I've started picking up smaller ones. That might just be what it is. But I hadn't realised that over the last,
There we go.
on average now, books are 67 pages longer than 10 years ago. And in the 10 years previous to that, they'd increased by 86 pages. So books are actually getting longer, which surprises me a little bit. And one of the biggest ones, fantasy, which amazes me. It really does, because I always think of fantasy as these great, big, thick, chunky books.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're all bigger now. And it's like, are they? I'm looking around going, none of mine are. What's going on? But
And I commented on that when I was talking about Divergent and when I talk about organizing the carts and I was doing my TBR things and that. And to be honest, that's why Divergent, sat on my shelf for about 7 or 8 years, because there were 3 chunky books, a guidebook, and I'm like, if I need a guidebook to read 3 books,
yeah.
So I ended up, it's one of the rare things where I ended up watching the movies before the reading the book. And I just noticed Janie is leaving us. So thanks so much
See you
for
later.
stopping by, Janie.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've got Divergent on my shelf. It's been sat there for about 15 years.
It's a good read, by the way.
Yeah.
I did finally read them, and the size is misleading because the print is big. Like they're a quick read. And I'm glad that I read the series because there's closure, because the movies never actually ended anything.
No.
Right? There's only 3 movies and it's left up in the air. They never ended up developing the series. They never ended up making another movie, but the book has closure. And I don't do spoilers. I just write in books because I'm a monster.
You are. You're a lovely one, though. So I'm confused.
Oh, you're so sweet. I just want to pinch your little cheeks. And people tuning into this are like, who are these people?
We're all Chaos Gremlins here.
Dragon.
Sorry, dragon, worm. Oh.
Chaos Goblin.
There you go.
Yeah,
What?
I still think you should.
I can't do it. He's that away somewhere.
I'm somewhere. I think you should rename the Discord the Chaos Cave. Just on a side point as well. I meant to message you this the other day because it's like, I have ideas. Again, okay. I've just thought, I've not been thinking about names for the tag.
That's right. You got to think of that event for me while we catch up on comments. Luna says, by the way, books are very different. No limits when it comes to books. In Norway, not even taxes on books.
That's how it should be.
I think if we have it here, but I don't think we have taxes either. I'm not sure.
Ours are. We have that on books. It's just already built into the price.
Yeah, well, and that's probably what happens here as well. Actually, I have to check my last bill from Goodwill. Struggle getting time to read, enjoy the sprints, so that's nice. And yeah, you get to chat and chill with other people.
I've met so many people through sprints recently.
Yeah, the books are very good, Daniel. The series, I mean, it's okay, but there's been such a stop and start because, and again, it's when you're doing a series and you have backflashes, you have to have the same actors. And the original Matthew, is it Cuthbert?
Yeah, Cuthrin.
So, yeah,
I can never say it.
Yeah, his name's Matthew anyway, but the actor left, and so then they were in a lurch because then how do you do back scenes with a new actor?
And especially with that character as well, because of the sort of three main characters, he was the one that was the least consistently written and the hardest one to grasp all the way through, which was like the big criticism when Sanderson took over for the last few books. Because whilst there was nothing wrong with his writing of the character, it didn't quite feel the same in the way that the other characters did because of the nature of, because it's very much that roguish archetype and the reluctant hero in a way that the others weren't. That's quite a hard one to balance. It's
now, is he the author you mentioned in your massive book haul?
There was a Sanderson book in there. He's written so many books, it's ridiculous.
It's okay if you don't remember. I saved the video because there were so many titles.
It's something.
I was thinking,
it's something site, and I can't remember it. It's book 2. I've already got book 1. I got book 1 ages ago. Again for 99p. I can find it because I have my.
Because that justifies it.
Yeah. It does
Hang on a minute.
As long as he gets it for cheap, he's like, yeah, I gotta have it.
So Starsight is the one that I've got 3 books by him on Kindle. Okay. Starsight was the one I picked up, which I believe is book 2.
There we go. Oh, it's a book 2? All right.
I have a horrible feeling that I've picked up.
You've done it again.
I've done it again. Blast, I have to go and buy book 1. What a shame.
Always does this. Oh, what a shame.
This is what happens when you point and click, Ven.
It's fine. I bought a book 11 of one of them, which I hadn't realised in the book because it was a pretty cover. And it's like, nice buy.
That was the other thing, because I'm not a cover buy. It's either something in the title or I know the author. Rarely is it a cover buy. And so I was just killing myself watching your video going, look at the cover. Look at the cover. I'm like, you got to hide that bank card, man, because there's a lot.
I'm thinking not physical books, they're all emails. So the cover really doesn't matter because I won't see them.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
You know.
He knows.
Mention it back to tech. How dare you?
Yeah, and I knew Janie liked Sarah J. Maas. I've never read her. And here, sorry, my allergies in my voice. You can't. No, it's really good.
Oh, no.
Can she? Yay! Voice again. There's so many holds on her books, like not even the new ones, just all of her books. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to read her that bad right now. And I've never read of any of her books, so I'm not going to put a hold on it and go, I waited for this.
I was told I needed to read Throne of Glass because I like fantasy. And I read it and I walked away and just went, that was dull. It's like it did what I see as an unforgivable thing where it has a main character and it tells us how smart they are. And then that character does something totally out of, and they're competent most of the way through until the plot needs them to not be. No, I'm not talking about Akatar. Faye was an idiot. I'm talking about Selena from
right, got you.
Because she's made out to be this super confident, super efficient, incredibly competent, intelligent assassin woman. And generally speaking, she appears to be quite competent most of the way through until the plot needs her to make a bad decision. And the decision is so far outside of her characterization that it doesn't make sense. So, and it feels like it's plot device, and that frustrates. I have no issue with a super competent character making the mistake or making a bad choice, but if that bad choice has to be a justified one, and there's multiple occasions where that happens, and then the same is with the Feyre in book 1 of Akatar. We're told how smart and clever she is, and she's an imbecile.
We're not told that she's smart and clever. She's just an imbecile.
No, we are told.
She's illiterate. No, we're not.
No, we're told that she's worldly. She's this top-class hunter. She's this.
You're right.
We're told that you're not allowed to kill elf people, or
Oh,
fey
that's a big
creatures.
wolf. That
And
might
then
be
that's
an
a big
elf,
wolf.
but I'm
That's definitely
hungry.
going to be fey. Oh well, I'll just kill it because nobody will ever know, even
And
though
I'm
I know
hungry.
that they will.
Her stomach had the rumblies. Don't blame her.
So Luna also says, I refuse to read Sarah J. Maas, mainly because what she's done to some of her characters, like calling the ace characters dead inside.
I know there was a controversy around Mass because in the second Throne of Glass book, it's very white centric, the world that it's in.
Yeah. It is.
So there's not really, you don't, at least in the
There's
first
not
couple
much
books,
diversity.
yeah, you don't have much, and there's only one really major diverse character in there.
Mm.
And the criticism at the time, and I can understand where the criticism comes from, and I don't think it was the best choice to have done what she did. She killed this character off in the second book to further the main character's story, which he could have achieved multiple other ways.
Yeah.
And that was the only person of color in the book.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, not a great look.
Whoopsie.
So, yeah.
And see, I've never read her, so I'm not sure.
She also, when it was the, I think it was the Black Lives Matter protests.
Oh
in the
no,
US,
yeah.
she sort of tried to cash in, going, "Well, look at my book with diversity," or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the tweet that went out,
something along them lines, yeah.
Yeah, that was very, very. We stand with. By the way, read my book, and it's like that feels cheap, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
not good. And Luna's saying that she's not a nice person, so I'm guessing. Well, so many of them, right? And it's got to be hard to be in the public eye because at the end of the day, they're humans. They eat, take a dump, and do stupid things like everybody else on the planet. What's that, Noah?
What?
No, then.
Oh, he's getting fidgety.
I'm always fidgety. It's fine.
True.
People don't normally notice.
So Janie, we had said goodbye, had joined us. Aaron. Hello, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Definitely gotten longer over the years, comparing a modern action thriller with a book by Alistair MacLean or Jack Higgins from the 60s, 70s. Yeah, I would imagine so. And I've noticed that just going through because I still have some of my older books and new books. And yeah, just the size. And like you say, Noah, some were literally pocket books, but you can't put these in a pocket now. You need like a huge container for them.
Yeah.
Way of Kings. Oh, 1,280 pages. Yikers.
That's the other problem with Sanderson. His books are big.
Long.
Honestly, I know we say that King writes a lot, which he does.
Yeah.
Sanderson is ridiculous. And also he's so upfront with his read. So like every week he'll do a YouTube video going, I'm at this point with this book, at this point with this book, I'm at the final editing book. Oh, and I've also got this thing and this thing. And also I'm doing another 74 books that'll be out next year. And it's just, I think he had 4 books come out last year and they were all like a minimum of 300 pages.
Wow.
And it's just a writing machine. I don't know how he does it. And they're all linked as well, most of them, like in the shared universe. It's like,
wow. So, and Luna is saying, and I think she's right here. And I do know there was, I can't remember if it was a 4th film or they were hoping to make it into a series, but the 3rd film did so badly that they just never bothered picking it up, which is a bit ridiculous because they didn't finish the series. Like the 3rd one literally leaves you hanging.
Well, the thing is, as well,
preferred the books.
It's something, again, you see a lot in video games, it's the not meets expectation line, which is one that baffles me because their expectations are always overset. So it could make a massive profit, but if it doesn't make all the profit, we're not doing anymore. And that's, we've not seen it in books yet. But books tend to have set like length deals for series quite often, which I think sort of fireproofs it a little bit.
Well, but look at Michael McDowell, like famous screenwriter. His books were very popular. They're well written, amazing horror genre reads, and yet went out of publication. You know, and there's some other carp stuff out there that's never gone out of publication. It's kind of like YouTube. Who knows who makes these decisions and how it works? Eno's saying, well, they CGI'd Tupac and Princess Leia.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that's linked to, but I missed something somewhere.
It was to do with tech. And
to do with the tech. Oh, don't
yeah.
get me started. So when I read Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle recently, that is a horror book, and the whole idea of it is because it's all based around the idea of in US, well, not in US films, in film and TV, quite often put a minority in a film to say diversity and then kill them early on, which is getting better, but is still an issue. And the whole thing of that, you've got this mega evil corporation, and it's talking about like image rights of people and who has the right to that character. Is it the person who portrays them? Do they have a right to their performance of that character, or do the studios? And then when technology gets to the point, can they just use their likeness and AI voice and so on to mimic it and not have to pay royalties? And it's there's strikes going on right now about that in voice actors in particular, because there's a lot of difficult stuff going on. So with stuff like that,
definitely.
Night, I hope you don't have a normal day at work, because I know what your days at work are like. They make mine look like a cakewalk.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and also thanks so much for stopping by. This has been fun. Danielle's saying, I get what you're saying about the third guy, Matt. So yeah, changing the characters, and think you buy book 2 on purpose so you can go back and buy the first one. And Jenny, I think you have just figured Ven's little trick out. I didn't know there was another book.
I genuinely, I thought. I've only just realised when I've looked, because I bought a Sanderson book a few months ago for 99p, which was book 1, and it's like, oh, cool. When I saw book 2, I thought, oh, it's the same. No, it's not. It's definitely not. So
you keep telling yourself that, Ven.
Yeah,
that's a novella. That's fine. That's fine.
Reminds me of Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code. The MC is supposed to be super smart woman, best at code breaking, all of a sudden needs help from a man to break easy one. Oh, no, yeah. Except Robert Langdon in those books, Luna, drives me crazy, because he's supposed to be this amazing symbology guy. Oh, sorry, poor Noah's peeking over the top.
I was like,
it's the best gerbil face I've seen you do.
Oh, too funny. But yeah, Robert Langdon again is supposed to be this amazing guy, but he needs, and when you were talking about the other characters from Mass, I was thinking of the Da Vinci Code. So this guy always runs into stuff, and then he needs help from a woman. But yeah, there is that scene too where she's supposed to be this code breaking expert, but needs Langdon's help. And just like, hey, hen, I'll be home. So, yeah, it's sometimes these characters and the way the authors write them are just irritating. Okay, this time, Noah, you won't have to tippy toe to see over the screen. Met authors, super nice. Yeah. Emma Newman and Siri Peterson. I don't know them, but it is nice to meet people who are decent for sure. Eno saying good night. And hey, we're caught up with the comments. I don't know. No, I might just make this one there and watch you do your little tippy toe again.
It's all right. Someone's just clipped it and put it in the Discord.
They have as well.
So.
Too funny. Well, hey, so we're just shy of 2 hours.
Yep.
My record holds.
We answered one question.
I may need to go soon because I'm in work at 5 in the morning.
Ooh,
I am not. I'm on leave.
Well, I'm going to say this has been an amazing time. It's been so much fun having the two of you here.
I've enjoyed this. It's been really nice.
It has.
Do you
I have
forgive
to-
me, Noah?
I will always forgive you.
Oh, thanks. I don't cut the books up.
Yeah, you're not like that other book murderer. I'm so glad she's not here right now.
Oh, you're so
Don't
judgy,
tell
Noah.
It's okay. Janie would laugh. She's awesome. So I'm going to say, well, thank you so much to all the viewers who have popped in. I think we were up to 11. Woohoo!
Ooh.
You guys are popular.
No, you're popular.
Not you.
No, Noah's the big YouTuber here of the three of us.
That's
No,
right. He's like, what is he? Bigger than our channels combined, Ven?
He is. He's over 500.
Woohoo! That's
So-
awesome.
So it's the
We'll
first
get
time
there.
he's been bigger than anyone else.
We'll get there one day. Oh, quit picking on him, you. Anyhow, before you gremlins get totally out of control, we're going to say thank you so much to the viewers and everyone who stopped by. It's been a blast. Glad we could keep up with the comments.
You're all awesome.
Wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ven and Noah, for joining me.
No, thank you for inviting us. We appreciate it a lot.
Thank you for inviting me back after last.
Hey, we'll have to do this again sometimes. It's a hoot.
Definitely.
So this is where we do the wave until the end stream finds